Good morning. Here we go, the first coffee chat show in December. We're rocking and rolling this morning. We are studying John Maxwell's book, this 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. So we will let everyone, the links just went out, the notifications just went out. Good morning, everybody. We'll let everyone catch up with the fact that we are live and online, and then we will jump right in. If you are just joining us for the coffee chat show and you've never been here before, good morning. We've been doing this since 2016. We do a live show every Saturday morning. Good morning, Kirsten. And it's a live class. We are currently working with this, John Maxwell's book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. We're about to cover law number 5. Just waiting for everyone to catch up with the fact that we are live and online. Good morning, everyone. It is the first coffee chat show of December 2022. Good morning, Christy, which means we're almost done with 2022, which means it's time to forgive yourself for anything that you didn't get done. It is time to start looking forward to the future of 2023, to see what you want to create for yourself. Start deciding what attitudes you want to leave behind, what attitudes you want to grow into as we get into the new year. Good morning, Angie. All right, good morning, everybody. So we'll do a quick recap. We are studying and working our way through John Maxwell's book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, which you can purchase on Amazon if you so desire. We are going to be working through books all the way through 2023. We will put out a newsletter with all the titles for 2023. The first one is going to be Atomic Habits. As soon as we finish John Maxwell's book, which we'll end up doing sometime in January, we will start studying a book called Atomic Habits, which is a really good book. And then we're going to work our way from there. So John's first law is a law of intentionality, where we talked about how growth doesn't just happen. You have to have a plan for growth. It's not just going to fall on your head out of the sky and you're going to develop yourself just because you think it's a good idea. You actually have to have a plan. You need some kind of action plan to hold yourself accountable to. The second law, the law of awareness, says you have to know yourself to grow yourself, which in essence means you've got to know what you want. You have to have some sort of a plan. You need some sort of a path for yourself, which means you have to know where you're going. Hence, you have to know yourself to grow yourself. The law of the mirror was law number 3, which talks about you have to see value in yourself to add value to yourself, which means you have to see yourself as a person of value. And I think a lot of us have trouble with self-worth issues. So there was a suggestion in that chapter that you make a list of 100 positive things about yourself, 100 positive character traits, or 100 things that you liked about yourself. I know some people were working on that. A lot of people were emailing me that they were having trouble, that they got to like 15 or 20 and they couldn't think of any more. So I encourage you, if you haven't done that, to do it. It's worth the exercise. I think that a lot of us sell ourselves short. We don't recognize our own value. The law of reflection was last week's law, which talked about, and I forgot to turn on the podcast. So here we go. All right. The law of reflection talked about, this was last week's law, law number 4. Law of reflection talked about really just taking time to think about everything and taking time as you're learning and growing to pause. Think about what you're learning. Think about where you want to go from here. Think about what you want to retool. Think about your plan for the future. So if you're always just moving forward with a huge amount of momentum and you don't take any time to pause and let it sink in, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice, right? Because you need that time to marinate in what you're learning. Since I only just remembered to turn on the audio, we will just say for their sake, this is the Coffee Chat Show. We are covering John Maxwell's book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. We are on law number 5. Law number 5 is key, okay, in life. It's the law of consistency. Darren Hardy, John Maxwell talks about this in this chapter, but Darren Hardy wrote a book. What the hell's the name of it? It's called The Compound Effect. That's a great book. I highly recommend it. Talks a lot about how small things over time can make big changes. That's also kind of what Atomic Habits gets into, which will be the next book that we're covering in January. Here's the thing. Your life is made up of what you do on a daily basis. And usually what you're doing on a daily basis becomes a habit, right? If you get up and you get your coffee and whatever you're doing at your desk or whatever you're doing through your day, however you end up like getting ready for work or going to the gym or not going to the gym or whatever it is that you're doing throughout the day, those are your habits. Your habits make up your life. So when we think about change, we think about like big change, like, oh, I'm making this much money and next year I want to make this much money, or I'm this much overweight and I want to lose this much weight, or you think about big changes, right? That's usually, oh, I'm sick of my life the way it is. I want it to be different. So you have these ideas, right? Where do I want to go? What do I want to manifest? Those are all usually like big things. Here's the thing. You can't get to the big, huge thing unless you can do the tiny thing day after day, day after day, day after day, and do it well. We actually have a game on the Coffee Chat Show that we play with people from time to time throughout the years we've done it. There is actually a chart for it. If you go to thecoffeechatshow.com and you click on free downloadables, which will be a banner at the top of the site, and you look for the effectiveness game chart. That is a chart. It's a grid of 7 days, 10 things, 10 spaces, 7 days in the week. This is a way to see for yourself exactly how you're doing with these small things, how you're doing with your consistent habits. You make up the 10 things that you want to get done every day, and then you give yourself a score. So you might think to yourself, oh, I have great habits. All my stuff lines up. I'm good, Noelle. I'm knocking it out of the park. I'm awesome. And then I might say to you, okay, what are the 10 things that if you did those 10 things every day, you would feel fulfilled, you would feel like you were on purpose, you would feel like you were knocking it out of the park in your life, right? So you might write those things down. And then I might say to you, okay, so just give yourself a score. Every day, tell me how many of those things you actually hit. How many did you do? And at the end of the day, you might find that in your mind, you're a 90 or 100. You know, you did them all. But when you really look at the list and check them off, you discover you're a 40 or a 50 or a 30. This will tell you something if you play this game with yourself over time. So I propose that we all play this game for the month of December. And I also propose that we put on there as things to do every day, something about your self-care, something about holiday cheer, and something about doing something for someone else. Because here's what I know about this time of the year. Mostly people get stressed out. Mostly they're worried about money. Mostly they're looking at what they didn't like about the year that just passed, or how they didn't get where they wanted to be, or whatever your mind tells you. And I would encourage you to flip that script, really. I really would. I would encourage you to remember that you create your own reality. You can make it up any way that you want. It is whatever you say it is. If you want to write a book, you can make that happen. If you want to take a trip, you can make that happen. If you want to double your income, you can make that happen. You can do anything that you want to do. And the way to get there first is to decide what it is that you want to do. And then second, it's to be consistent in the actions that are going to get you there, right? So when you are making up your mind to be consistent and make new habits and create new ways in your new paths in your life, right? There's always going to be feelings that you have that tell you you don't want to. I'm too tired, I'm bored, I don't feel like it, I don't want to. It's too late, it's too early. I didn't get enough sleep last night. I got too much sleep. I ate too much. I didn't eat enough. I drank too much. I didn't work out. My kids annoy me. I can't. I don't want to. The truth is, and I talk about this a lot, you either have the result that you want or you have all the excuses and no result. This is not something that somebody does to you. This is you. Result or no result? Result or excuses why I have no result? That's your choice. That's up to you. The law of consistency helps you to see that you have to do these things, that whatever the actions are that are going to get you to where you want to be, they have to be done over and 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 over. That's consistency. It's like brushing your teeth. Hopefully, most of you are brushing your teeth several times a day. When we are teaching our kids to brush their teeth, we tell them this is something that you must do for the rest of your life several times a day. Brush your teeth. Okay? That's an example of a consistent habit. Brushing your teeth is a habit. You have to be consistent about it. If you're not consistent about it, it's not going to be a good situation inside your mouth, right? I think everyone can agree with that. So, Maxwell says, motivation gets you going, discipline keeps you growing. Consistency takes discipline, right? Motivation comes and goes. I can feel motivated. Oh, I feel like doing this today. And then the next day, I don't feel like doing that. Doesn't matter how you feel. It really doesn't. What matters is what you're committed to. What are you committed to? Are you committed to feeling shitty? Are you committed to whining? Are you committed to, saying, oh my God, it's the holidays. I don't have enough money. I'm going to get the gift. What are you committed to? That's the bottom line. What are you committed to, and what are you willing to do about that? You're either going to be committed to your growth pattern, or you're going to be committed to your apathy. It's one or the other. This isn't rocket science, you guys. It's not. You're either going to be committed to where you want to go in your life, and you're going to start getting consistent about making actions and habits to get you there, or you're going to be committed, or you already are committed to your apathy, in which case your life is not changing and it's not going to change. I don't care how many books you read or how many classes you listen to or how many life coaches you hire. If you are not committed to making change consistently, taking new actions consistently, nothing in your life is going to change. Nada. Zero. Nothing. It's December 3rd. We have a few more weeks until the end of the year. We have an opportunity right now to flip the script now. You don't have to wait till the first of the year. Flip the script now. Let's start taking different actions. Let's start doing different things. What are you committed to? If you have been left, you can flip that script. You can look at that as an opportunity. You can look at it as an opportunity to have a different future. Or if you got left, you can look at it as that was the end of your life and you might as well just be done with it and you can just be in despair and be pathetic. That choice is yours. I have news for you. You create every single thing that comes into your life. Whether a relationship is in your life or out of your life, whatever it is, you created that happening for a reason. It is either coming to teach you something or show you something, or it's pushing you to change something, or you finished your usefulness for that person or thing. Some things are a bridge. Some things are meant to show us, teach us, give us children, whatever the case may be, and then we're done with that. Everything in your life is a learning opportunity. You get to choose how you see and interact with that opportunity. That's your choice. You always have the choice about how you interpret what's happening to you. You can be wounded, you can be apathetic, you can be joyful, you can decide that you're going to be a warrior about it, you can decide to forgive the person and move on, you can recognize that whoever else is in your life, whatever they have done to you, they are doing the best that they can. And perhaps you have outgrown this person, or this situation, or this job, or this circumstance. The only person that I say this over and over again, I've been doing these shows since 2016. It's 2022. I say this over and over and over again. The choice is yours. It is your life. And it keeps moving, right? We started this conversation, if you've been with me since the beginning in 2016, it's 2022. What's changed for you? What have you changed? I've changed a lot. What have you changed? What are you willing to change? What are you willing to do about that? And are you willing to be consistent about it? Because it's great to say, oh, I'm going to make a change, and I'm going to be joyful, and I'm going to blah. And then something happens in your film, and you now have a choice. How are you going to respond to that? Are you going to continue to be joyful and forgiving and open-hearted, or are you going to now all of a sudden get pissed and feel persecuted and wall in? That choice is yours. People are crazy. I have news for you. People are wackadoodle, okay? In case you haven't noticed, I had somebody on our staff do something completely unexpected this week. I am floored, really. People are crazy. People do strange things. At the holidays, people tend to get even more wackadoodle, all right? So you have a choice, okay? You get to choose. You get to choose how you respond. Are you going to be persecuted? Are you going to have the attitude that somebody did me wrong and now I'm so sad because Beatrice left me, Fred left me? Oh, come on. What? They left. If they left, they're gone. Move on. Get over it. Life is short. Life is short. You are in control of you. If you have kids that are with you, you are in control of you and the kid, or you and your kids. So how you start operating from right now into your future, that's on you. That's on you. Those crazy people out there, whoever they are, husbands, wives, boyfriends, bosses, people on the street, people in Starbucks, people on the road, whoever they are, you can't control them. They're crazy. You can't do anything about them. You can do something about you. And my question is, what are you going to do about you? Because that's really the problem, is you. What are you going to do about you? And whatever you're going to do to change you and get where you want to get in your life, you're going to need to be consistent about that. Erica's saying that she's lost friends because of her choice to be committed to her education and her future. You will lose people But let me tell you something. If you are going for a goal or you are going to create a bigger, better future for yourself and you lose people off your life because they don't support that, did you want them there anyway? Did you? Do you want people around you who secretly are hoping that you fail? Or that are jealous of you? Or that don't celebrate madly your incredible worth and success? Do you want to be married to those people? Do you want those people as friends? Do you want to struggle every day with like a relationship that sometimes, you know, that like a person that you live with where it's always this whatever, and then they leave and then you're like so sad that they left? But is it really a loss? Is it really? Is it? Or is it a release? Or is it a liberation? Or is it a freedom? Come on, you guys, wake up. Life is short. We don't have we don't know how much we have, how much time. So every day we should be joyful. We should be looking at where we want to go and growing consistently, right? And, you know, I'm challenged with this myself. This last week I had that, you know, sinus like thing, that cold in my eyes, and it was something, really was. I just saw Miranda get on here. I was, you know, texting her and Tracy, and I was having a rough time. I was. And I just, you know, every day I prayed, every day I just kept saying like, it's going to get better. I can get through this. And I kept doing what I needed to do. I worked. I did the show last Saturday. I looked like holy hell. I couldn't put my contacts in for a week. But I was just committed to not being in the apathy of it all. I just saw Oceana jump on here too. I was committed to not being in the, you know, the doom and gloom of it all. I really could have embraced that, right? I could have embraced the whole, you know, oh my God, I feel terrible. I can't do anything. Ugh. I decided not to do that. And I'm good. It's gone. So you don't know how much time you have. What the hell good is it if the time that you have, you're just wallowing in self-pity, being pathetic and apathetic? What the hell good are you doing anybody? Honest to God, if you are so self-concerned that you feel so shitty, go look for somebody else to help. I have news. This time of the year, the whole effing world needs a lot of help. They do. There's a lot of people suffering out there right now in their mind and in their economic circumstances and with their health and whatever. So if you feel like you can't get out of your own way, no, Tracy, I didn't see her question. If you can't get out of your own way, go find someone else that you can contribute to, and that will get you out of your own way. Go apply yourself to making someone else, give someone else a moment of joy. Hold a door, bring a cup of coffee, bring a flower, call and check on somebody. Go to the local library and see if you can do something. Okay, somebody's asking me a question. You never change your life until you change something you do daily. Correct. That's the whole thing about consistency, right? Oops, I just lost all the comments. That's the whole thing about being consistent. This is what I'm saying to you. Your habits are your life. Your habits make up who you are. Your habits are what you do every single day. If every single day you leave your dirty coffee cup in your living room, if every single day you leave your dirty laundry on the floor, by the end of the week, your house looks like a pig pen, and then you feel shitty because you're living in a mess. Okay? Those are habits. If you always throw your dirty coffee cup in the back of your car and only clean it out once a week, like that's a habit. That's a habit called, let me not take the time to discipline myself to find a freaking trash can. Let me just whip it in the back of my car and I'll deal with it later. And I have news for you guys. That's what most of you are doing with the shit in your life. You're like, oh, let me not handle this now. Let me deal with that later. And then before you know it, you can't even open the back door of your damn car because it's filled with trash. You want your life to change? Get busy doing something different. Every freaking day. Every day. Do something different every day. Stop throwing the coffee cup in the back of the car. Pick it up. Take it to the trash can. Because I have news. Those coffee cups that you're whipping behind you because you don't want to deal with the breakup or the sadness or the lack of handling your finances responsibly or not working out or too many cupcakes or too much friggin' wine or whatever the hell your problem is, and you're just like, oh, I'll deal with it later, I'll deal with it later, I'll deal with it later, I'll deal with it later. And then you have some kind of a breakdown. Why? Because you didn't deal with it. Stop hiding from shit. You are the commander of your life. You are the captain of your ship. You have everything to do with how your life turns out. Okay? You run to the mirror after we get off here and look in there. That's the person that you can hold responsible for the way that your life is. That person right there. That's the person. The law of consistency says that small changes made over time consistently, okay, will bring you the results that you want for the future. Miranda's reminding us that later doesn't actually exist. Correct. Because we don't know. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, 5 minutes from now, 6 weeks from now. You have right this moment. So if you start making those changes and taking those actions and being the difference that you want to see in your life, right? Gandhi said, be the difference you want to see in the world. Those changes that you make in the now, and then 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 now, that quickly becomes both your present, your future, and your past, okay? The way to change something is change right now. And then now, and then now, and then now, and then now. You get to choose every single day how you respond, how you interact, what you focus on, who you bring into your life, what you're going to dwell on, what you're going to change. Those are all under your control. Do something different. And if you're having a hard time this holiday season, go do something for someone else. This is the prescription for joy. Give, and then give, and then give some more, and then give some more, and then give some more. Your job is to be generous beyond measure. If you are self-aware and you're smart enough to be able to navigate your own personal development, then you are a carrier of the light right now, and your job for the holiday season is to be generous beyond measure. Because there are people out there that don't know that they can make a difference in their own lives, and they actually think that they're at effect of the circumstances in their life, and they actually think that they can't do anything to get themselves out of there, and they require your joy right now. They require your generosity. So if you can't get out of your own way, then go help somebody else. And it doesn't have to be money-based. You can do anything from checking on someone to making a meal, to being there for someone, to taking someone shopping, to offering an ear, a shoulder, a Kleenex. There are so many ways that you can contribute to people. Generous beyond measure. That's your job for the next month until we get to the end of the year. Generosity, generous beyond measure. Because that's going to get you out of your own way, And that's going to help you get into a state of joy, which is then going to help you to attract more joyful experiences into your life. And consistent change and consistent habits are what are going to change your life over time. Small things done differently and consistently over time. All right. So, you know what your mission is, should you choose to accept it. If you are new to Coffee Chat, I suggest you go to thecoffeechatshow.com. I suggest you join our newsletter so that you can get the calendar and you can get the books that are coming up in the future. We do not try to sell you anything. We simply use the newsletter for information purposes. So I suggest that you get busy seeing how you can be generous beyond measure. And I suggest that you get busy looking at what your daily habits are, what would be good to change, and then be committed to being consistent about the changes that you have to make. Consistency is key. Discipline is what keeps you on track and keeps you going. All right, so visit us at thecoffeechatshow.com. We're going to say goodbye to our podcast folks here. Facebook fam. We will see you soon. I'll be here next week. I'll see you then.